Welcome, Grade 7 learners, to a truly incredible journey. Today, we're embarking on an educational safari through one of the most fascinating and complex ecosystems known to humanity, middle school life and the human mind. I'm absolutely thrilled to be your guide through this explainer. Together, we're going to observe the natural habitats of your social circles and uncover the hidden raw power of your own brain. Get ready, because we are about to master both social survival and academic excellence for your life orientation exam. Okay, let's dive into this map of our journey. We'll be exploring four distinct zones today. 1. The pure pressure ecosystem. 2. Resolving conflict and getting help. 3. Creating the perfect study habitat. And 4. Training the student brain. Let's step right into Zone 1, the peer pressure ecosystem, where we'll figure out the fundamental rules of our social habitat. So let's observe our habitats, starting with a pretty basic question. What actually are peers? Well, out in the wild, your peers are simply people of your own age. Think of your classmates. They literally form the very foundation of your social ecosystem. But here's where it gets kind of fascinating. What is the definition of peer pressure? It's when you're influenced by these peers to do something. It's exactly like a powerful current in a river, naturally shaping your behavior. And it's totally crucial to understand that this current can pull you in two very different directions. It can be positive or it can be negative. Now, what's really interesting about this is the duality of nature. On one hand, peer pressure can actually be a positive evolutionary trait. It can give you the motivation to achieve things, like healthy competition for good grades. It encourages healthy habits, gives you vital social support so you feel like you belong to the pack, and drives you toward positive activities. But you've absolutely got to watch out for the dangerous environmental pitfalls. The negative consequences are severe. It can lead to risky behavior, have a heavy emotional impact like stress and anxiety, cause a loss of individuality where you're just conforming to fit in, and ultimately spark social conflict. Moving on to our second zone, resolving conflict and getting help. These are your specific tactical survival skills in the social wild. To survive out there, we have to ask ourselves, how should you act when you're under pressure from your peers? Listen, the ultimate defense mechanism in this habitat is not to shrink away or try to camouflage yourself. No way. The key is to be self-assertive and draw a firm line. You really have to stand tall and claim your space in the ecosystem. But how exactly do we pull that off safely? Well, here is your step-by-step tactical survival guide, 5 basic steps against peer pressure. Step 1, do a reality check. Just look at the hard facts of the situation. Step 2, assess the risks. Think about the consequences before you leap. Step 3, trust yourself and listen closely to your inner voice. Step 4, answer. Speak clearly and stand your ground without wavering. And Step 5, recharge. Suggest a safer alternative action, or, if you have to, migrate and find a new, safer herd of friends. Now, sometimes you're going to clash with others in the pack. It happens. So here are 4 ways to constructively disagree. These are highly effective social tools to peacefully diffuse tension. First, you can simply say no with a firm, calm voice. Second, use humor. It can instantly change a tense atmosphere. Third, if the threat persists, just ignore the person or physically walk away. Or fourth, use the buddy system. Make an agreement with a good friend for mutual support, so you never have to face the pressure alone. So, the crucial point to remember when disagreeing is this. You must disagree with the idea, not the person. Use this exact phrase as a powerful shield. I appreciate your perspective, but I won't be part of it. It's a simple sentence, but it perfectly protects your boundaries without declaring war on your classmate. We also need to navigate the treacherous digital landscape, right? This brings us to the golden cyberbullying and social media rule. It's incredibly simple, but literally vital for protecting yourself from online predators. Do not share new social media content that makes you uncomfortable or that could lead to you or someone else being bullied. If it feels unsafe, just don't click share. Remember, even the strongest creatures sometimes need rescue. If you make a mistake or find yourself struggling, do not feel guilty. Talk to a parent, a teacher, or a counselor. And for immediate support, here are some free lifelines. Childline at 0800-055-555. The Love Lifeline at 0800-121-900. The South African Depression and Anxiety Group by SMSing 31393. Or the 24-hour Lifeline at 011-262-6396. Keep these lifelines close. They're there to help you survive. Okay, let's transition to Zone 3, creating the perfect study habitat. This is all about setting up your environment for academic success. Let's move to the academic landscape and see how this builds, starting with the 4 parts of an academic essay. Every strong structure needs a solid foundation. First, the introduction, where you state your main idea or argument. Second, the evidence. This is where you give your reasons or proof. Third, you explain, detailing exactly how that evidence helps your argument. And finally, the conclusion, where you wrap the whole thing up and refer back to your main idea. This sequential staging is exactly how you build an unshakable academic argument. But an essay is really only as good as the information you absorb. So, what does it mean to read with understanding? True learning isn't just mindlessly parroting information like a bird in the canopy. Reading with understanding means you deeply comprehend the material, so much so that you can apply that info in entirely new situations. That's what true academic survival looks like. As we observe a student interacting with text in their natural habitat, we see 3 distinct types of reading. First, reading for pleasure, just doing it for pure enjoyment. Second, reading for information, where you're hunting for specific facts. And third, the absolute most crucial one for your exams, reading for understanding, aiming for deep comprehension. To actually achieve that deep comprehension, you need the right conditions. I absolutely love this next part because it outlines the exact atmospheric conditions required to build the perfect nest for optimal brain function. You need 4 things. 1, a quiet, well-lit space with 0 distractions. No phones. 2, fresh air and comfortable seating. 3, have all your supplies, pens, highlighters ready beforehand. And 4, balance your study blocks. We're talking 40 to 45 minutes of studying, balanced with 15 to 20 minutes of rest to prevent burnout, topped off with rewards. And finally, we enter our last zone, training the student brain. Let's unleash your raw mental potential. So, why is remembering considered an active process? Well, because memory isn't just some passive sponge soaking up water. It requires deliberate, muscular effort. You have to purposefully train your brain to remember things until recalling them becomes an absolute habit. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how we do it. Look at these cognitive tools that can dramatically sharpen your mental claws. Under active learning, we have active recall, testing yourself, spaced repetition, reviewing at intervals instead of cramming, and elaborative rehearsal, linking new info to stuff you already know. Combine those with effective study techniques like summarizing in your own words, using patterns or rhymes, and chunking, which is breaking massive volumes of work into small, manageable parts. To keep that brain incredibly agile in the wild, here are 6 vibrant ways to train it. Make lists to stay organized, use games and puzzles, practice mental maths to keep those neural pathways firing, exercise your body before and during learning to activate cognitive functions, visualize by creating pictures in your head, and honestly, get creative. Make a song out of your work. Just like every creature digests its food a bit differently, your brain is no exception. We possess 3 unique evolutionary adaptations, or learning styles. Visual learners digest info best using diagrams and mind maps. Auditory learners thrive on listening to recordings or discussing work aloud. And kinesthetic learners, they need to physically engage with practical activities. Figuring out your style makes you a highly efficient learner. We complete our sequential trek by summarizing the holy trinity of physiological needs required to sustain a healthy, high-performing brain. For a good memory, you need 3 lifestyle factors. Sleep, aim for 7 to 9 hours to support cognitive functions. Nutrition, a balanced diet packed with omega-3 fats and vitamins. And exercise, regular physical activity directly increases your brain function and memory capacity. We've explored the social wilds of peer pressure, learned the tactics for peaceful survival, mapped out the ultimate study habitat, and unlocked the raw power of the active brain. So, as we conclude this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question for your grade 7 exams. Will you let your environment shape you, or are you now ready to shape your environment? The wild is yours to conquer. Happy studying!